Over 2 million migrants have crossed the southern border this year. That is a record. And just days after Hurricane Ian hit Florida, 3 of 4 people arrested for looting down in Lee County were illegal immigrants. So you cross the border, you waste taxpayer money, you break our laws upon entry, then you break our laws criminally by looting people when they're at their weakest and most vulnerable. For more on this, let's welcome in former Acting Border Patrol Commissioner Mark Morgan. Mark, have you ever seen in your lifetime, in your professional career, a more radical, progressive, and by the way, completely ineffective border policy?
No, I haven't, Robin. Look, a key element to that is if you look decade after decade, even though the policies failed, administration after administration, both on the right and the left, there's always been some back and forth about talk about amnesty, but also border security. Why I agree with you, this is the most radical, progressive, open border policy we see in our lifetime is this administration has stopped talking about border security, and they've only talked about amnesty and the rights and taking care of the interests of the illegal aliens rather than protecting Americans' interests.
Thought this was interesting. In the last 24 hours, Republican senators are hoping that Republicans are able to win back the Senate 33 days from today. But Lindsey Graham and Ted Cruz have notified Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, the DHS secretary, that they have, quote, grounds for impeachment if he fails to correct what they call gross dereliction of duty at the southern border. Is this just saber rattling, or does this have some merit?
No, it has some merit. Look, I refer to Secretary Mayorkas as the chief architect of this administration's disastrous open border policies. I believe truly, Rob, that he is the most dangerous man in this administration. And why do I say that? Look, this isn't just my opinion. I back this up with facts. First of all, we have more dead migrants that are piled up at our southwest border because of this secretary's open border policies. We have more threats pouring into our country than ever before, than we've ever seen. We have criminals pouring in, rapists, murderers, pedophiles, aggravated felons, and gang members every single day in this country. We have drugs that are pouring in, killing Americans every single day. We have national security threats that are pouring into our country every single day because of this secretary's abdication of his responsibility to protect this country. Look, he has clearly put his ideology and the interests and rights of illegal aliens over his duty to protect America first. He absolutely should go. And I tell you what, if the first thing that they don't do on day one is file articles of impeachment against this dangerous secretary, I hope I'll be on your show calling them out.
Well, you'll certainly be on the show. I'm curious, though, what you make of. So Joe Biden, just some numbers here when it comes to fentanyl. 300 Americans overdose every day. It's 1 every 9 minutes in this country. But another record that Joe Biden now has, and we remember during the Obama years and even during the Trump years, but during the Obama years, the kids in cages, 1,360 migrants have died at the border trying to cross. That's an all-time record, and that's happened in just 20 months of Joe Biden. What do you make of that?
Yeah, Rob, look, think about that. 1,300 migrants. Look, I've literally seen migrants stacked on top of each other, dead, laying on the side of the road. Look, I know it's early morning, but we have to talk about this because this is the same secretary. Another reason he needs to go, he's lying to the American people. He keeps saying that he's developed a safe, orderly, and humane illegal immigration process. First of all, that's an oxymoron. Second of all, factually, it just shows him to be the liar that he is. It's not only the migrants that have died because this secretary is incentivizing them to come, but it's also the migrants that are raped and sexually assaulted on their journey up here. Yeah. Look, independent reporting says up to 30% of young women and children are sexually assaulted. And then look, trafficking. Look, when individuals smuggled, they also, a majority of time, a large extent of the time, they can also become victims of the atrocities associated with trafficking. Yet this secretary doesn't mention anything about this.
Right. Mark, I just want to share with everyone at home a conversation that you and I had over the weekend. So I asked you, and I was just very candid. I was like, why would migrants, especially with little babies. Over the weekend, we saw a couple crossing in one of the deepest parts of the Rio Grande River that makes up the border between Texas and Mexico. When you can go sometimes 100 feet downstream and the water will be ankle deep. And you brought up a point that I don't think people understand enough, and that's that the cartels control the Mexican side of the border, and they are making those people cross at the points that are most dangerous. So then the Border Patrol has to go out and make a rescue, and that frees up the cartels to smuggle drugs across, a quarter mile downstream. Is that accurate?
Yeah, Rob, you're spot on. Look, this is why I keep saying that illegal immigration is not a victimless crime. The cartels do exactly what you say. That's just one example of their techniques. They look, when you see a migrant cross in a specific area, it's because the cartels directed them to cross in that area. And they don't do that by accident. They do it exactly what you see for their tactical advantage. They will push illegal aliens through areas that are very dangerous because they know Border Patrol resources will descend upon that to save the migrants, to provide them the humanitarian care. That leaves the areas of the border to the right or left wide open.
Yeah.
Why do they do that? Because it's easier for the cartels to smuggle in criminals, drugs, and national security threats. They do that every day, all day long. That's a loss on the majority of the American people.
All right, Mark, appreciate it. Thanks so much for being on with us this morning. As always, good to see you.